We are back at Levi Stadium with our final feature story for this week, brought to you by Service by Medallion.
Luther Glenn is excited to begin his junior season at Wilcox. He's passionate about the game of football, a passion he shares with those closest to him. For the Wilcox football team, the success of the offense relies heavily on the strength of its linemen and agility of its running backs. Junior Luther Glenn hopes to be the next on the list of great running backs to wear the Charger uniform.
This will be my first time playing under the lights, so it's really going to be fun to me. I like playing under the lights. I don't like playing when it's like broad day and it's hecka hot.
He's going to get the ball a lot. He's probably our lead guy on offense. There's other talented guys for sure, but he's going to be the workhorse. If we're going to be successful, he's going to be a big reason for that.
When he was 7, my husband wanted to put him in, his grandpa wanted to put him in tackle, and I didn't want him to play tackle.
Betty Glenn is Luther's grandmother.
He brought me the paperwork home, and I never filled it out on purpose.
Luther has been living with his grandparents since he was 7.
He was living with his mom, and she was struggling. She has 3 other boys also, and she was struggling with him, and he was going to be here temporary. But he's been here for so long. He wants to stay. So, and she's really great about it. We talk all the time, and she knows that he wants to stay here, so he's here.
I got so comfortable now living with my grandparents. It just feels like my mom and dad now, so.
Ever since Luther began living with his grandparents, he and his grandfather, also named Luther, have shared a special bond.
Very happy man. Still a kid. Just like to do what I like to do, so that's why we connected very close. She was like my dad to me, and it was like really hard when he left. Took a piece of me out, but I had to stay strong and just keep playing. Every time I play for him, so.
He had non-Hodgkin's, lymphoma, and leukemia.
2?
Yes, he had both. So 2 seasons he watched them play, and he was in the hospital for like months at a time. But as soon as he got out and he would go to practices, he would go to every game that he could. The only way he didn't make it to a game is because he was in the hospital for treatment. Other than that, he was there the whole time.
I mean the most. I was hecka happy. All the time looking in the stands, seeing him, or just seeing him in the parking lot, staring at me playing, giving me the thumbs up. Yeah, it just made me happy.
Grandpa Luther passed away in 2013. He was the only father figure Luther had ever known.
Oh, it was really hard. I wasn't really I thought it was all a lie or something, but because I was a kid and stuff, but when he really died, it was like, damn. It was just me and my grandma now, so really hard. I had no dad, so. I don't really like to talk about it, but it was just hard because, seeing a father figure of me laying in the casket and stuff, it just took me apart.
Luther's very quiet. He doesn't talk about it a lot. He doesn't talk about anything. After my husband passed, he said he didn't want to play anymore. And I was like, oh no, there's no way he can stop now. He played Mighty Cats. He was MVP, he got MVP. I'm like, you can't stop. Your grandpa would want you to keep going. But he said, at the last minute again, he said, you know what, I'll do it. And he did it, and he's been doing it ever since.
Do you feel his presence when you're on the football field?
All the time. All the time. Every time I'm running, I feel like he's just looking at me. Telling me, give me the thumbs up like always.
Now it's just Grandma Betty and Luther. Betty says living in the Bay Area on a single income has been difficult. She hopes to move, but wants Luther to be able to finish out school at Wilcox.
He wants to stay here and go to school here, and he wants to graduate here. And I want him to. I also came to Wilcox, so I wanted him to stay here, but it was just a struggle of staying here because it's so expensive here. But I'm doing it for him. So right now we're living with friends, and we're going to see how it works out. But I'm trying my hardest to keep him here because I know he wants to stay here.
Betty's been phenomenal. His grandma's been phenomenal. We've made every effort to support him because we all have challenges. You never know what someone's going through. And for him to know that he has help and take advantage of it, I think it's helping him move even more so in the right direction in terms of where he wants to be, both in the classroom and on the football field.
Luther says he owes his grandparents everything. His grandmother for her continued support, and his grandfather for introducing him to the sport he now loves. Luther wants to say thank you to his grandmother for all of the sacrifices she has made for him. And he says once he makes it big time, he's going to buy his grandmother a beautiful new car.
Very nice. And it's always so great to see that kind of family support for somebody that, he's had so much adversity in his life.
Yeah.
To have them there is wonderful. And the Wilcox program is fantastic.
That's really what Grandma Betty was saying, is that the program has just been so great to Luther, and this is his first year on varsity. He had a really great, run in in the Sarah game against Wilcox last year. So they're excited. They're excited for him.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we see with this coronavirus is that football's not being played in the fall, so the kids aren't getting that leadership and guidance from their football program that they normally would.
Yeah, because they're at home, for most of the day.
Yeah,
So
hopefully at home. Yeah.
Seriously.
All right.